Hello to all of you out there. This is Dan the Law. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the show. I am solo at the moment. Dan Solo. Dan Solo. No, Dan the Law. I am Dan the Law because I am the law. So tonight, if you have seen already, we are reviewing a movie called Dog Day Afternoon, starring Al Pacino, and that other guy. There's actually quite a few people. John Cazale. John Cazale and Al Pacino. Those are the two that are on the cover page anyways. And let me just give a little backstory on this guy. So apparently this was based off a true event that happened. I'm guessing around in Chicago area, because I think that's where it's filmed, is in Chicago. Honestly, I don't really know. No, it was Brooklyn. The movie is based in Brooklyn. The real thing was probably in Brooklyn. I don't know. I don't really know too much. If you are watching and you know more than me about this event that happened, that they turned into a, like a movie. So Dog Day Afternoon is a darkly comedic crime film. I honestly didn't see a lot of comedy in it. It was more so kind of on the serious side. It is inspired by a real life bank robbery gone wrong in 1972. The film tells the story of John, I can't even say the last name. I'm going to attempt the last name, everybody, but if I don't say it properly, forgive me. Wortzik. I'll just spell it out. Wojtowicz is the last name of this guy, which is one of the bank robbers, and his motivations, including his desire to steal money for his spouse's reassignment surgery. The reason why I put on there woke in the 70s is because we hear about this a lot today. Not so much back then, but it was still real back in the 70s. Was people wanted to transition from being a man to a woman. They still had that back in the 70s. And so that's why I put on there woke in the 70s. Doesn't mean it's woke, not really. It's just telling a true life story here. And real Wade, what's up? How are you? Thanks for joining. So yeah, it's just a story from something that really did happen, and they tried to make it a little bit better. And the reason why I got into wanting to watch this was because in my little town that I live in, this guy's brother lives in this town. Should I have said that? So he lives in this town, and he's a very nice guy. He doesn't have much to do with the robbery or the brother who robbed the place. And then that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't say too much. For those of you who know. Those of you who don't know, just watch. There is this movie, and yes, he's my buddy, Kelly Roundsville. Thank you. Yes, he is my buddy too. I love seeing him when you drive by. He's actually out there raking again, the front yard, or at least he stands there. I don't know if he's really raking anymore like he used to, because that house is no longer that kind of house anymore. I don't think. But he's a really kind, sweet, handicapped guy, and this movie is basically about his brother, and so that got me interested in wanting to watch this movie. Plus, Al Pacino, for those of you who don't know, my grandfather, he passed away about 2.5 to 3 years ago now, but a lot of people used to call him an Al Pacino lookalike. Oh, you look like Al Pacino, even though my grandfather is a bit, what was he? I think he was about 5 years older than Al Pacino. So, yeah, there's that too. And I'm like, you know what? Let's take this for a ride. Let's watch this movie. My co-host is not here yet, so I'm going to be just kind of rambling at the moment. And I hope you guys don't mind that. He's late. He was at Taekwondo or something. But that's okay. He did watch it too. He watched this movie. He watched it yesterday. I watched it today. This movie, it's, honestly, it's quite a good movie. Yeah, so I guess before we get into more of this movie, I'm going to do like a little small commercial, because this video is sponsored by us here at Inside the Booth. Only us. It's not we don't get sponsors because we're not that big. And, honestly, I really don't know how to do it. So there's that too. But let me just mention something. I have sold so far 2 of these t-shirts, and if you are interested in buying this t-shirt, I have that link pinned at the top of the comments section right now. This is obviously it's the new thing because of what happened about a week ago, 10 days ago, actually, 10 days today ago, where our future president was almost assassinated. But, he got up and said, let's fight, trying to show us that he's still alive and stuff like that. So if you like this t-shirt, I put on there 1776 behind him, because, it's about time we stand up for our rights and don't let government take over. And I know that's a political stand. We don't try to do too much political stuff here. But I'm just saying, there's that t-shirt. You guys can go ahead and click the link in the comment section that's pinned, and hopefully maybe you'll like that shirt and buy it. I have at least one person so far who has sent me a picture of them wearing the shirt, which I will post on social medias, Facebook, probably Instagram. I'll post it on X, and I will post it here on YouTube. For those that are watching on YouTube, some are watching on Facebook, because I was able to post it there too. So yeah. So Dog Day, everybody. Dog Day. Al Pacino and John Cazale. So yeah. Good. We are going to get into it, and if you haven't seen this movie, I am sorry. Spoilers ahead. Spoilers, lots of spoilers. That's all we do here, is spoil things. When we do go watch Deadpool and Wolverine, which comes out on Friday, which I will see on probably Saturday, and then we'll do a review on it, maybe not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. And yes, we will spoil it, and hopefully 2 weeks will give everybody enough time to watch that movie. All right, let's get into don't forget, everybody, subscribe to the channel, vanquish the like button, ding the bell, for more notifications. And if you like what we do here, obviously, share it and tell your friends about us and support us in any way you can. Sharing is probably the best way to do it. Stuff like that. So yeah, here is a small commercial break.
What is this place? What is it that you do here? Merchandising. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And it is beautiful, everybody. And I realized that I still had that beginning music playing the whole 10 minutes of this video of me talking about everything. And that's okay. I don't mind that. Because it's like, I think it's like non-copyrighted music, so we'll be okay here on Inside the Booth, Facebook, YouTube thing. So here we go. I am going to start talking about this movie. For those who want to hear me talk about Dog Day Afternoon. It is a dog day afternoon on this wonderful day. So let's talk about the plot. And here we go. All right. I'm just going to read the plot for those of you who are here. And you'll see me turn my head over here because that's one of my screens are over there. And this is another screen. So, that's why I turn my head sometimes. And it might look annoying. I'm sorry about that. So the plot is when this is, I think this is IMDb, Google plot for this movie. When an inexperienced criminal, Sonny Wortzik, which is almost spelt the same as the real guy, just a little different. So Wortzik is the name. Sonny Wortzik. Al Pacino leads a bank robbery in Brooklyn. Things quickly go wrong, and a hostage situation develops as Sonny and his accomplice Sal, John Cazale, try desperately to remain in control. A media circus develops, and the FBI arrives, creating even more tension. Gradually, Sonny's surprising motivations behind the robbery are revealed, and his standoff has a standoff with law enforcement moves towards its inevitable end. And yes, this is all true, the plot. So my view of it is basically the same thing, just this guy, he goes into a bank and he just wants to rob the bank for some money, and his motivation for his money is to help support his husband, boyfriend, he calls him a wife, to get sex change surgery, and he also has a real wife and children as well, and he wants to help support them also. And he basically, in the movie, he robs the bank, and the bank already sent all their money off, and then he kind of screws his mind up because he's like, well, I wanted this much, now I'm getting nothing. So then he takes his time trying to take money out of the registers of the bank tellers and leaves, a couple of cards in because he used to be a bank teller, and he had it all kind of planned out in his little noggin. And you can tell he's very frustrated. He's not in his right mind. And he's just kind of going by the seat of his pants, doing all this stuff by the seat of his pants, and he gets caught, because he was in the bank too long. Even the bank manager, which is played by Sully Boyer, Mulvaney, the bank manager Mulvaney, he says, "Okay, it's time to leave now," before anything happens. And well, he didn't leave right away. Things started to happen, and there you go. And then in the end, obviously, he gets arrested, and his friend dies. Now, I don't know if that part is true in the real, what really happened, that his friend died and then he gets arrested, but I do know he gets arrested in real life. Speaking of which, we got a couple of. I should have clicked on some photos so that you guys wouldn't get so bored just watching me talking. He's in the bank, he's talking to people. This is his friend. This is John Cazale as his friend Sal. And then here's a couple of real life pictures of the real guy. And he's not really a bad looking dude. They actually, when they casted Al Pacino, he has a little bit of a Al Pacino look to him. Not totally, but a little bit. Let's see. Oh, my mom. Hi, ma. Hi, ma. How are you? Yeah. And then there's him being arrested by the feds. So this guy John, real name, like I said, real name is John Watcherswick. I don't know. I can't say his name. Like I said before, I'm not good at saying names. So this is the guy. His real name's John. J.S. Watcherswick. Blah blah blah. August 1972 is when he was arrested, and so Al Pacino plays him quite well, where he's kind of a little bit crazy and a little bit not crazy. He was a nice guy. It just when he comes out of the bank yelling, he's yelling at the cops to put the guns away and stuff because he's cooperating. So the bank was the Chase Manhattan Bank is what he robbed. So obviously this is in Manhattan. There you go. I just answered my own question from earlier. If you were watching earlier, what's up, Ron, CG Artist? Hey guys, if you don't know who CG Artist is, go ahead and follow his stuff on YouTube. He's a great. If you like Star Wars, you'll like his stuff. He builds Star Wars rooms and everything else. Uncle Mike, how are you? Uncle Mike is watching tonight as well. Thanks for watching, Uncle Mike. You're a great guy. Yeah, so I did enjoy the plot of this movie, and I will give the plot a point. So 1 point out of 1 for me. 1 out of 1. And I will write this down because who knows, I might forget what my points are on this, which I probably won't, but since I don't have a co-host with me tonight, I don't know where he is. It's already been 20 minutes. He's really late. No, it's okay. I'm not dogging on him. A little drink. Next in our category section is acting. Acting. Oh, okay. So acting is quite the cast. Let me tell you: Al Pacino, John Cazale. I don't know how to say his name. Chris Sharndon, which is Leon, which is okay. Not Sony. The main actor there. Al Pacino's character is the husband, the wife, the whatever, and then you got Charles Durning, as Sergeant. You got Penelope Allen, Penelope, Penelope, Penelope. I think that's how you say it. As the main bank teller lady. Amy Levitt is Maria, the one where the Spanish, the Spanish guy comes running in and tackles him outside, and he's like, "What is that? What is that? What's going on?" He got a bump on his head. So yeah, it's a good cast. A lot of these, obviously, a lot of this cast is an older cast. A lot of the older actors who are probably a few of them are no longer with us, which is sad to say, but they did a wonderful job acting. When you're watching this and their acting is going on, you can actually, you can kind of feel their acting. It's like, it's really good. It's not like today's acting where, I don't know. It's different. It's different than today's movies, different than today's acting. It's just really, really good. Very well done. Let's just put it that way. It's a very well done movie. Very well acted. And I keep saying well done movie, because it is a well done movie. But talking categories, acting was very well. So I will add a point to that acting category. Next is one of my favorite things to talk about is cinematography. Those of you who don't know what cinematography is it's just a great bowl of cereal. Cinematography. No, it is the way they shot the movie. Here's some photos of it. I didn't get any B-roll stuff on photography, but it is kind of a vast movie. Oh, here we go. Sorry. I was kind of sorry. I stopped talking because I was reading and I wanted to take the picture off and go back to the comment. Ron said he accidentally caught a little bit of the scene where he's outside the bank yelling at the police, and just from that little snippet, I knew this would be a good movie. Yes, Ron, this is a good movie. It's one of those movies, from the 70s that is like, I don't know, just even I'm talking cinematography and basically the movie in a whole. It catches your interest, and it's like you're in the bank with them. You're there with them. It's one of those movies where you can watch it probably a few times and not get too bored with the movie. And knowing that it is inspired by a real bank robbery, or it's inspired by a true story, based on a true story of this guy who robs a bank so that he could pay bills. Basically, that's basically what it is. And it's funny because they're like, it's a weird movie because it's almost like a movie that could be made today and it would still resonate with us. You got the sex reassignment surgery thing because he's, and that's why I said is this a woke movie for those who have just joined. But it's not a woke movie. It's more of, this is this guy's life. He's married to a man, he's married to a woman, and the man he's married to, he wants to help him become a woman. It's weird, it's strange. It's like made for a movie for today. And even the politics, like, where am I going to get the money? Everything's expensive, he says. It's so, like, it's a part of the 70s, but it's also a part of today. Like, we go grocery shopping. We get like 5 things, and it's like $30 these days, or it's $50. My co-host is now jumping on. Give me a minute, Phil. I'll put you on in a second. So it's one of those strange things where it's like this could also be like a today movie. And speaking of being a today movie, it would be nice. What's up, Phil? How you doing? It would be nice if they remade this movie into a today movie, basically. It does, and they could remake this movie and base it on the real life story of this guy, like it was based on, and keep it that way. But they could film it so much better now, with the technology that we have and the better angle shots, and they could make it more. They could make it feel more emotional. But it is a very emotional movie. They actually could make this movie on this guy's life and do the bank robbery as a part of a movie instead of the whole movie as the bank robbery. Just my thoughts, my opinions.
I vote that Michael Bay does it so we can get a lot of explosions.
There's gonna be a lot of explosions. That's right. He blows up. He just blows on someone. You see an explosion happen.
Right?
Or he wipes the sweat off, and then there's an explosion when he goes like this.
Right.
But yeah, this cinematography, even though it was simple and it was all in one building, it still had some good B-roll, and it had some good shots of, you could feel like you were there. So I'm on cinematography right now, Phil. So
I give the previous categories a point too.
Both of them?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you give plot a point and you give the acting a point. All right.
Oh yeah.
And so cinematography, I'm gonna give a point. What would you give it, Phil?
I'll also give this one mostly because I know this was in the 70s, from in the 70s.
Yeah, this movie was made in the 70s. Yeah, tell me what you thought of the cinematography in the 70s compared to today's stuff, and why you think it was good anyways.
Yeah, because I would expect it to be for example, the Jeffersons, or those old time shows where the picture quality you can tell it's somewhat dated.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
It's not. It seems like it's current. It's past. Sorry. It's cool. And it just seems current. It seems current.
Yeah.
I can kind of see where you were saying about they could easily make it today.
Yeah, they could.
And still it being cool. Good.
Yeah, and it's about a real life person and people, So it's like I don't understand why the woke mob needs to throw things in movies when there's already real life stuff that's happening with the stuff that they deal with, So
right.
No shaky cam. There is actually a shaky cam. In the beginning of the B-roll, when they're showing some of the stuff in the beginning of the movie.
But it wasn't really horrible in my opinion.
No, it wasn't a horrible shaky cam, but you could tell that somebody was holding it and just kind of trying to move along a little, because it was a little bit on the shaky side. It was and then it would go to a still shot and then go back to another little shaky shot and then another still shot. And that was all the B-roll in the beginning. By the way, which what's his name? Elton John did the music in the beginning of the movie. So speaking of music in this movie, let's just talk about the music, the score of the movie. So yeah, the music was good. There was not. It didn't seem like there was a lot of music in this movie, but the music that was in it it's obviously dated for its time, but it was like good music. It was fun music, especially the beginning part. You know, it's like you can feel like it's going to be almost like a lighthearted type of movie until the bank scene comes in, because it's just like just the B-roll is just fun people hanging out in the sun in Manhattan or Brooklyn, but the difference is that you could see what's going on. Yes, that's true. It's not one of those shaky cams where you can't see what's going on. It was a shaky cam like somebody's trying to hold it still, but it shakes just a little bit. They must have forgot their tripod in that very moment of time.
Were tripods even a thing back in the 70s?
Yeah, they had tripods. But they're so big and heavy, they probably didn't want to carry it everywhere they went. I mean, even if you look in the movie, you see some of the guys, the newscasters, they have this backpack and then a little camera on, their shoulders.
Oh, yeah. Those were tripods?
No, the backpack wasn't. Those were those handheld cameras where they're just kind of holding it. So those were not tripods. They were just
makes me more appreciative that I was born the time era that I was.
Yeah. Oh, can you believe it? You had a backpack and a camera on your shoulder. How heavy that stuff is, and look at what we have today. You can film on this and make a movie. People podcast on their phones. It's the technology is so different, and it's light. It's not. It's crazy. It's just crazy, in my opinion. So yeah. So, the music wasn't bad. There wasn't a lot of music in it. And I think they made a good choice not putting a lot of music in this movie. Just because the intense scenes, some of them you didn't really need the intense music. It was just like, you knew it was intense because there's sweat on their face. They're sitting there. Don't know what they're doing, basically. And so that's it. That's what happened.
I don't think this.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
Oh, you go ahead. No. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna give music a point, but so go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was supposed to say that I don't think this movie really needed that much music. To be honest,
it didn't really need a lot of music. I like the part where he's like, they're coming in the back, and then he shoots the window, and then just to shake the police up and go, oh, whoa, we're getting a little too close, and it didn't hurt anybody. He just wanted to say, hey, you're getting too close, and then he goes out the door and he's yelling and swearing at the guy. Hey, what are you doing? I don't know what's going on. Yeah, you do. They're all in the back there. And he's like, I don't know. He goes, stop conning me. You're a con artist.
And that's another thing I was surprised at, that he didn't kill people. Like, anyone he, chose to keep as many as he could alive. Yes, part of that was for leopards. But, how, bank robbers tend to, quote-unquote cliche thing is, hey, I'm going to kill someone.
And then they kill him.
I was, shocked that they didn't have him do that.
Right, and I think it's because he even says in the movie that he's a Catholic boy. He doesn't want to kill anyone. He's a strong Catholic believer, and same with his friend there. They're both Catholic believers, and they both want to not hurt somebody, but they'll do it if they have to. That's what the one guy says. If we really have to, we'll do it. And it's funny because he let one of his friends in the beginning of the movie run out the door because he couldn't do it. He goes, I can't do this, Sonny. I can't do this. And he's like, all right, get out of here.
Which makes you wonder, was he the one who called the police in the first place?
We don't know. It might be. You never know, He might have waited a few minutes and said, let's call the police. He didn't make an example. No, he didn't make an example of anyone. Because he didn't want to hurt anyone, and no one wanted to be hurt. And he was like, well, So, like in the beginning, I already said this in the beginning of the show, but he didn't want to. He wanted to get the money and leave because he wanted the money to help his families out, the people, his wife and his kids, and his what he called his wife, which was his husband. Man, it was a man that wanted to be a woman. He wanted to pay for that surgery too. It's basically all he wanted the money for, was to help these people out, help out his families, and that was it. And it's like,
yes, noble cause, but went about it the completely wrong.
Yeah, the wrong way. Yeah, get a job, and and he couldn't get a job because the jobs that they had were all, you had to be in the union. Well, get a non-union job, and he's like, yeah, but then you're not making enough money to live on. You get $100 a week. You can't live on that. You can't help other people with that kind of money, and that's like today. Now it's unfortunate that nowadays we get $15 an hour for minimum wage, and you still can't live on that. Yeah, because obviously inflation happens when you get more money. So it's the government's like that. Okay, if the people want more money, we'll make everything cost more, and that's what happens. It's just dumb. That's a bold reason for the 70s. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. It's a bold reason for the 70s. Yeah, crazy. So what did you think about the music or the lack thereof? Did you think the sound quality was good? Because I'm gonna throw in the sound mix as well as the music for this one. And the sound mix was great. You didn't have any. It's interesting because a lot of 70s movies, you have that variation of sound, kind of going up and down all the time. But in this movie, they don't have that. They obviously, when they filmed the sound, they had a little bit of it at the end of the movie when the airplane noise was going over and he's yelling, because it's so loud. But it's kind of like more of a real life thing that happens. It's loud. We're going to yell instead of being able to get the microphone too close to hear you good, So I think it was well done. I'm giving, like I said, giving music and sound a point. So go ahead, Phil. What?
I think I'll give it a point too, because it was granted that the movie was hooked me in so well that by the time the music came, I said, "Oh, there's music here." But even when the music did come in, it wasn't that much compared to what Star Wars or Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can see why they put the music here and why they didn't put it there.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a point.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's very well done. All right, allegory, the last but not least category of this wonderful inside the booth method of giving points and no points to certain things. The allegory. I think the allegory is pretty well done. If you're gonna do something bad, something is going. You gotta live out the consequences of your actions. You're gonna rob a bank, even though you thought you're gonna rob the bank real fast and quick, not hurting anybody and leaving. Obviously, it didn't happen that way. You stayed a little too long, and your consequence was the cops were there. It became a crap show, and in the end, you get arrested, and someone dies. It's a bad thing that someone died in the end, but he didn't want to get arrested, but he got arrested. He got caught. So the allegory for me would be, don't do bad things. Bad things won't happen to you. Or justice won't happen to you, basically.
All right.
I mean, it's not a big allegory, so I'm not going to give it a full point. I'm going to give it a half a point, just because Did he learn his lesson? We don't know if he learned his lesson. He went to jail. That's all we know, you know. So there's no like arc of being like, oh, you know, you what is it called? You looked at your badness and you turned around and said, okay, I'm not going to do that again. It's more of a movie where it's like, you do bad, justice is going to happen, and there you go. That's about it.
I will say I'll give it a full point, because for me I took out it was you might have good intentions, and sometimes people get desperate because of bad times.
Yeah, they do.
But this was like, if you go lean into like the doing stuff bad, kind of like, yeah, you get the consequence. It's like, this is an example of like what might happen to you if you cross that line. Like, always try to like do things the right way.
Yeah.
Otherwise, as you said, the consequences will catch up.
Yeah. Get a job, you bum. No.
Right, get a job.
No. I know there's no, and what is nice about this guy is he was honest and truthful basically the whole time he was robbing the bank, and he didn't like being conned by people. So maybe that's why he wanted to rob a bank instead of being a con artist and, you know, scam people out of their money to get money, to get quick money. So he was like, yeah, let's just rob a bank.
Which in a way he kind of conned himself in a way, because like he went to that bank and that bank didn't really have any money at that time.
Yeah, because
in a way he conned himself.
He did, because the armored truck already came and took the money away. Like, what'd they say? Like, they came in yesterday or something, or a few hours before.
It was either the day before or like.
I think they said something like a few hours before he came in is when they took the money.
Yeah, so like when I heard that, I just burst out laughing and said, "Oh, that."
You're like, oh man, you came at the wrong time. Yeah.
I kind of half expected them to like say like, "Bye, police worker, off all of you, going to the next bank." But I kind of like how they like kept it as just one bank.
Okay, so
that was pretty interesting.
Right. So you know when he was yelling Attica, out in the crowd, and everybody was like, yeah, yelling Attica back and stuff. Apparently, Attica means while arguing over his office carpet with Cuddy, this refers to the Attica prison riot that happened the year before. So when yelling Attica means if you do something to me, everyone that's out here is going to do a riot and they're going to mess up the police or whatever. So that's what that meant when he chanted Attica. So
yeah, I was the old guy. Like, I was jealous too because they got pizza. I wanted my pizza.
Right. This was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie because there was pizza involved.
Right.
A pizza and a Coke. Hey, get some pizza get some
and a
Coke.
That sounds like the best night ever. Pizza and a Coke. Hakuna Matata.
As your lights turn off. Hey, it must be the police are surrounding you, Phil. Turn the lights back on.
It's by knowing
clapper.
Clap on, clap off light.
And it's a Star Wars clapper. Look at that. Darth Vader, stop it.
So like every single time, like it turns on or off, Darth Vader says something, "I'm your father. You underestimate the power of the dark side," something like that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
So this movie gets a 9.5 points out of 10, which is very good for Inside the Booth and very good for a 1970s movie. You don't see that every day, you know, when you watch a movie from the 1970s. You don't see that it's like usually they're not well done, or they're very much like you're watching a stage play. This movie was
Mm.
none of that. This movie was well done. It keeps your attention. You sit on the edge of your seat, like in suspense, like, ooh, what's going to happen next? Ooh, why is he yelling? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? It's a very well made movie for sure. And
I'll admit, when Dan first told me about the name, I thought it was going to be like some dog movie. And then I, like, of course, Dan kept house for you. I said, you're going to have a stream tomorrow afternoon? I said, no, it's part of the title.
Yeah, it's part of the title. Dog Day Afternoon. Now, if you really want to know about the movie Dog Day Afternoon, there's also, I think in 2012, they made a documentary of what really happened that inspired this movie. So there's a documentary of it, which I hope to watch and review the documentary very soon, because it has a little slice of Dansville. It has a little slice of my little town in it, because of the guy's brother, the main guy who robbed the bank. His brother, he's a handicapped man, but he's very much just like, he loves people, and we call him Buddy. He's our buddy. He's Buddy. Buddy is a very great guy. And I want to know more. I want to know more of this guy's history of, of the dog. I think that's what the name of it is. Let me look real quick.
Wait, the guy's name is Dog? Because
no,
he gave some phony name.
No, they gave him the name The Dog. That's why it's called Dog Day Afternoon.
Okay, that makes more sense. But yeah, I also thought okay, some Dog Day Afternoon. Why is Dan getting me into? Is this some lost Disney movie that I don't know about?
The Dog. Okay, yeah. So it's called The Dog. It came out in 2013, and it's about this guy who robs the bank. They say it's a documentary for LGBTQ, but it's really not LGBT. It's got some of that in it because he was
it really only
homosexual.
Has one thing in it that's LGBT.
Yeah, it's because this guy's homosexual, and he married another man who that man decides to transition into a woman. It happens, It happened in the 70's. It's happened. We hear a lot about it today. But the issue is, what we have issues with about that whole thing is pushing it on little kids, telling little kids that they're not a boy, or they should have been a girl,
Yeah,
that stuff is, yeah, that stuff you shouldn't push on little. Leave the kids out of it until they turn 18 and decide that that's what they want to do. That's our thing. And if you do it because you want to do it, then go for it. But we don't, as a Christian, I don't condone that type of lifestyle. Do I hate you if you do live in that lifestyle? No, I don't hate you. I'm a Christian. I love everybody. But if you do live that lifestyle, obviously that person is probably not a Christian. So who am I to tell that person what to do with their life? I can't, unless they decide that they want to follow Jesus. Then that's when you get into saying, okay, start reading the Bible. Let's welcome them in for who they are, just like Jesus would. And then teach them the Bible. And then once they start learning the Bible and wanting to be closer to God, they will change, because God will change them. It's nothing that we do.
And I go buy potato and avocado.
Potato and avocado.
That's my pronouns right now. But no, seriously though, like I'm a fan on this one, and like it's a good movie. I know. I agree with what he just went on too. What you just went on. You, us, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie, everybody. So yeah, that's it. Basically this is it, everybody. This is the show. We're done talking about this show. We're done talking about the movie right now. I wanna review. We have reviewed documentaries in the past on Inside the Booth, so I would love to watch The Dog, not rated 2013 documentary of this man who did actually rob a bank, and these events did actually kind of happen. So I want to review that, and yeah, that'll be maybe. I know Deadpool and Wolverine is coming out this weekend, so obviously I'm not going to review The Dog until maybe a few weekends later. Next Tuesday is going to be the review show. We might touch upon Wolverine and Deadpool. We're not going to review it. We'll just touch upon it and talk about it. We're also going to talk about The Acolyte, and we're also going to be talking about, obviously, Star Wars stuff, because that's what the review show is all about. It's geeky stuff. Most of us are, on that show, are, Star Wars fans, and they are Star Wars room builders and prop makers. So that show is always a fun show to be had upon here at Inside the Booth. So if you like what we talked about tonight and want to see more of obviously when we review the documentary, follow us, subscribe to our channel, show us some support by sharing our channel, telling others about us. We want to grow on this channel, and we want to eventually start doing some giveaways, hopefully before the end of the year, and hopefully at least be at 1,500 subscribers by the end of the year. So that's the goal. So if you like what we do here, that's right. Vanquish that like button. Ding the bell so you get notified for more notifications of when we go live or when we post a video, and show some support that way. You can also show support by, like I showed earlier, if you are a patriot, go ahead and buy this awesome t-shirt. I have at least sold one to, I think, 2 of these t-shirts in the past week. So, and you can right now, if you want, it is in the comment section. It is pinned on YouTube. I did not pin it on Facebook because I'm not over on Facebook in the comment section at this time, but I'm on YouTube comment section and everything right now. So go ahead, follow us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We do have a Patreon page. You can become a member there. You can become a member here on YouTube. That also helps us grow this channel and do more movies. And if you have a suggestion of a movie that you want us to watch, go ahead and leave us some comments suggesting movies. Leave us some get a hold of us somehow on the social medias and leave us some comments, or send us a DM or private message or whatever they call those things, and we will get back with you and say, yeah, that'd be a great movie to watch. And there you have it. And I'll tell Phil or maybe one of my other co-hosts to watch the movie, and we will review those movies. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm glad you were here. I'm glad you got to see. If you haven't seen this movie, Dog Day Afternoon, go ahead and watch it. Leave us comments down below if you are rewatching the rewind of this show. Yeah, and remember, it is based on a true event that happened. Here's the real thing, and here is the movie thing. Pretty close to being the same. Well, maybe not the same, but you know.
He grew out his hair for the movie, you know.
Yeah.
Just for the movie.
Oh, did he? That's good. So yeah, there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, and we will see you next show. Remember, every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you don't watch us every Tuesday live, you can watch all our other podcasts, rewinds, or watch some of the shorts that we put up and some of the videos that we post. Good, fun stuff that we have here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. God bless you guys. And don't forget to, like I said before, subscribe to the channel. And we will see you again next Tuesday live. Goodbye.
Later.
We'll see ya. Let's throw a little music on for everybody. Goodbye, everybody.
Good that they can't see me because I'm dancing. I look at the nightmares.
I think I'm dancing too. See you, Ron. Cheers. CG Artist. Don't forget that channel.